Story here. Flashback. If you want to look at hypocrisy, take a look at this year's old Elizabeth Warren speech. 2013, Elizabeth Warren supported killing the filibuster and going to the nuclear option on federal judges. Fairly convenient that she now opposes doing the exact same thing at the SCOTUS level, isn't it? Just want to see what else they got going on in there.
On the D.C. Circuit, and the president has nominated 3 impressive people to fill those vacancies, including Patricia Millett and Nina Pillard. These nominees are not ideological. They have extraordinary legal resumes and have received bipartisan support from top litigators around the country. They are among the top legal minds of a generation. This is how the president plans to push back against efforts to tilt our judicial system by nominating judges who will be judges who will be fair, judges who will be even-handed, judges who will have the diversity of professional experience to understand and consider all sides of an issue. I understand that Republicans may prefer to keep the D.C. Circuit exactly as it is. But Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution says that the President of the United States nominates judges with the advice and consent of the Senate. There is no clause that says, except when that president is a Democrat. Democrats allowed President George W. Bush to put 4 very conservative judges on the D.C. Circuit. All 4 are still serving, one as Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. There are 3 vacancies in the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. The President of the United States has nominated judges to fill those vacancies. That's his job. And it is the job of the Senate to confirm highly qualified, independent judges. That's how our system works. That's what the Constitution demands. Republicans these days don't seem to like that. They keep looking for ways to keep this president from doing his job. So far, they have shut down the government. They have filibustered people he has nominated to fill out his administration. And they are now filibustering judges to block him from filling any of the vacancies with highly qualified people. We need to call out these filibusters for what they are: naked attempts to nullify the results of the last presidential election, to force us to govern as though President Obama hadn't won the 2012 election. Well, President Obama did win the 2012 election by 5 million votes. And he has done what the Constitution requires him to do: nominated highly qualified people to fill open vacancies on the federal bench. If Republicans continue to filibuster these highly qualified nominees for no reason other than to nullify the president's constitutional authority, then senators not only have the right to change the filibuster rules, senators have a duty to change the filibuster rules. We cannot turn our backs on the Constitution. We cannot abdicate our oath of office. We have a responsibility to protect and defend our democracy, and that includes protecting the neutrality of our courts and preserving the constitutional power of the president to nominate highly qualified people to court vacancies. Thank you, and I suggest the absence of...
Democrat Senator Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren supports the filibuster on Gorsuch's nomination, claiming he's way outside the mainstream. This is interesting because back in 2013, she wanted to kill the filibuster and advocate for the nuclear option. Elizabeth Warren has no problem with the nuclear option back in 2013 when Republicans were filibustering radical leftist judges up for nomination. Elizabeth Warren, the president has nominated 3 impressive people to fill those vacancies. These nominees are not ideological. They have extraordinary legal resumes and have received bipartisan support from top litigators from around the country. I understand that the Republicans refer to keep the D.C. Circuit exactly as it is. I'm not going to read everything she just wrote. red. Funny, when things are on the other foot, Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren sends out a completely different smoke signals regarding how the Constitution and filibustering works. I'm enjoying watching the Democrats melt down as they realize they are no longer in power. I almost read everything she just said. But since that was so quick, let's see if we can't find another story. Oh, I just did this one. Shia LaBeouf, he got really bad news. He made a new movie, okay? Get this. You got to find the video. You go find the video. You're not going to believe what happened to him. He got screwed royally. Like never, ever, ever before. Breaking: Paul Ryan delivers a blow to Trump reforms efforts in one day. Federal judge just shut down the Justice Department. What's this? Breaking: a federal judge has just shut down the Justice Department. Federal judges shut down a request by the Justice Department to delay an overhaul on the Baltimore Police Department. Associated Press reported Baltimore, the latest on a request from the U.S. Justice Department for more time to review the assesses a proposed agreement to overhaul the Baltimore to review and assess the proposed agreement to overhaul the Baltimore Police Department at 3:55 p.m. A federal judge has denied the request for the U.S. Justice Department to postpone a hearing on an agreement to overhaul the Baltimore Police Department. They want to postpone it. I think the judge was on our side. He said nope. The Justice Department filed a motion earlier this week to push back the hearing schedule for Thursday until June. The department said it wanted time to review the plan and determine whether the proposal would hinder efforts to fight violent crime. U.S. District James Breda rejected the request Wednesday, saying in his order that pushing back the hearing at the 11th hour would be a burden and an inconvenience to the court, other parties, and most importantly the public. He says the hearing had been jointly requested by the Justice Department and the city. A Justice Department spokesman declined to comment on the order. Yes, victory. That's a good thing. And breaking: Governor Kasich just released a statement. Governor John Kasich has announced that Ohio flags will be lowered tomorrow, while late astronaut John Glenn is laid to rest. In honor of the interment of John Glenn at Arlington National Cemetery tomorrow, and in recognition of his exceptional career and public service as a United States Marine in 2 wars, test pilot, pioneering astronaut, United States Senator from Ohio, and an unparalleled American hero. I hereby proclaim by authority vested in me as Governor of the State of Ohio by the Ohio Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, that the flags of the United States of America and the State of Ohio shall be flown at half-staff upon all public buildings and grounds throughout the State of Ohio from sunrise to sunset on Thursday, April 6, 2016. On this day. Perfect. Beautiful. Deserves it. I'll be keeping my eye out, too, on public buildings, making sure they're doing it. You see me running out of my car into buildings tomorrow.